All right, we're starting lesson 24. Okay, this is session 1. Okay, it says comparing fractions. Okay, it says shade the models at the right to show the fractions. So one of them, I'm going to shade how much? The first one, I'm going to shade how much? What? 1/4. So that means I'm going to shade how many? How many squares? How many squares? All of it? Like this? Like that?
No.
How much am I going to shade, guys? Just 1 square to equal 1/4. So go ahead and do that, please. Okay, the other one is 2/4. So how many squares I'm going to shade in? 2. Does it matter which way?
No.
I can go like this, right? I can go like this. I can go like this. Or I can go like this. Does it matter? No. I can even do this. Okay? So now that you did that, it says use the fractions 1/4 and 2/4 to complete the sentence. Okay? So which fraction is greater than the other fraction? So is 1/4 greater than 2/4? Or 2/4 greater than 1/4? So 2/4 is greater than 1/4. How do I know that? Just by that. Okay? Two-fourths is just right here on the number line. 1/4, sorry. 1/4 on the number line is just here. Okay? But 2/4 is from 0 all the way across, almost halfway. So just look at the 2 lines that I just made. Which line is longer? 1/4 or 2/4? 2/4 is. Okay. It says use the number line on to the right to compare. Which fraction is greater? We just said it. Which fraction is greater? 2/4. When comparing 2 fractions with the same denominator, okay, you're just looking at the numerators. So look, I have 1/4 and 2/4. They both have the same denominator, right? Then I'm just looking at the numerators, which are these. Okay, I'm just looking at these right here. So then yes, 2 is greater than 1, huh? See, now it says compare the shaded parts of the models below. Can you use these models to show that the sentence in problem 1b is true? So, well, let's see what they did for 1b. When comparing 2 fractions with the same denominator, how can the numerators tell you which fraction is greater? Well, depending on which numerator is the biggest, right? So this is still 1/4. This is still 2/4. Okay? Just by looking at the fractions alone, okay, which fraction is greater?
It looks like 1/4 is greater because it's bigger.
But I'm not talking about size. I'm talking about the fraction of the whole. 2/4 is still greater, right? Okay. Now, if I'm looking at these right here, these two, size-wise, you could probably say that maybe 1/4 is greater. But I'm not asking you which one is bigger based on its size, right? I'm asking you which fraction is greater based on the fraction, not the size. So don't get confused. In this case, 2/4 will be greater. Okay? Because this is just 1/4 of the whole shape. This is 2/4, which is a half of the shape. It says complete the problems below. Okay? We're going to use these 2 models. Okay? So Let's participate. It says which model at the right has the more parts? Which one has more parts? A or B? B. Yes. Because A only has 3, well B has 8. Okay. Which model has smaller parts? Okay. Excuse me? Size-wise, which one has smaller parts? Look at this. Look at this compared to this. Which one has the smaller parts? B does. Okay? Okay, not only does B have the more parts, but they also have smaller parts. Okay? It says, now it says, shade 1/3 of model A. So how many parts am I going to shade for model A? 1. Then it says shade 1/8 of model B. So how many am I going to shade? How many? I'm going to shade just 1. Okay? Use the fractions 1/3 and 1/8 to complete the sentence. So I have to make a model to do this. Because without the model, which fraction do you think is greater? Okay, well, some of you thought B, huh? Okay, hold on. Some of you thought it was B. That's okay. That's understandable. This is 1/3. This is 1/8. You thought, oh, look, my denominator is 8, and 8 is bigger than 3. Nope. That's not it. Don't get confused. You're only going to do that if the denominators are the same. Then you'll look at the numerator, whichever has the bigger number. Okay. This one, I'm not looking at the which number is greater. I have to use a model first. Now, based on the model, which fraction is greater? 1/3. Look at the section that's right there. Isn't that part greater than this part? Yes. So use the fractions 1/3 and 1/8 to complete the sentence. Complete the sentence. Out loud. Go. 1/3 is greater than 1/8. Okay, repeat it again. 1, 2, 3, go.
1/3 is greater than 1/8.
Yes. But Mr. Partida, I thought 8 was greater than 3. Yeah, you're right. But when it's a denominator, and there's my numerator is 1, okay, it's a smaller number that has a bigger piece. Okay, that's why it's a lot easier to use a model. Look at 3 now. It says label each part of each model at the right with the unit fraction. Oh, unit fraction. Unit fraction is just of the fraction for each one of these, right? So what would be my unit fraction for C? What is it?
1/6.
Go ahead and label it. And then what would be the unit fraction for D? There's 4 of them, so that would be my denominator. And my numerator is always going to be what when it comes to a unit fraction? 1. Okay. Then it says shade 3 parts of each model. Okay? Let's shade. You can use a colored pencil for this, so that way it's easier to tell. So 3 parts of each model. That's 3 parts for this, and 3 parts for this. Or you can use a highlighter, even better. Okay. So, what fraction did each model show? So for model C, what's the fraction that I shaded in? I shaded 3 of them, right? 3, 6. So what would be the fraction for D that I shaded in? Say it louder. 3/4. C says, which unit fraction from part A is greater? Oh, so just look at this section right here. Which unit fraction is greater, 1/6 or 1/4? 1/4. Okay. And then which fraction from part B is greater? Which was greater, 3/4 that we shaded in, or 3/6? Here's 3/4, and here's 3/6. Which one's greater? Everybody? 3/4. When comparing two fractions with the same numerator, how can the denominators tell you which fraction is greater? Okay. So when for example, look, we had 3/6, correct? We had 3/6, and then we have 3/4, right? My numerators are the same. How do I know which fraction is greater? By the smaller denominator, right? Which one has the smaller denominator? This one does. So that means this is greater, 3/4 is greater than 3/6. Okay, listen carefully. Okay. Which model, A or B, has the fewer parts? Has fewer parts? Jack? A. A only has 4 parts, while B has 6. Yes, A. Oops. A. Okay. Which model has large parts? A as well. Shade 1/4 of model A. Okay. I can do 1/4. Whoops. This this is A. This is A. It says shade 1/4 of model A. Then it says shade 1/6 of model B. Okay. Use the fractions 1/4 and 1/6 to complete. So now listen. Does it say which one is less or which one is greater? What does it say? Everybody? Less. Okay. So with these two fractions, which one's less? Give me the fraction, not the letter. 1/6. So 1/6 is less than 1/4. This is 1/4. This is 1/6. Okay. So B has a smaller part, right? Even though it has more parts, it has the smallest. Okay, go and do number 4 by yourself. So 4A says label each part of each model at the right with the unit fraction that represents. So C, what's the unit fraction?
1/8.
Louder.
1/8.
So it's 1/8 for all of these. And the unit fraction for D?
1/3.
Do you notice that the unit fraction for each one of these is the same, huh? Okay, now it just depends on what I need to shade in. Okay, B says shade 2 parts of each model. Okay, so how many sections do I have to shade in? Just 2 of them. Okay, so here's 2 I need to shade in. And 2 I need to shade in. Okay. Then it says, what fraction does each model represent? So look at C. Model C, what would be my fraction that I shaded in? Everybody? 2/8. I shaded 2 of those. Okay, and my denominator is 8. And D? 2/3. I shaded 2 of them, and my denominator is 3. Okay? It says which unit fraction from part A is less. So here's my unit fraction, right? So which one of those unit fractions is less? What is it? 1/8. Okay. Then it says which fraction from part B is less? 2/8 or 2/3? 2/3? Okay, hold on. Here's 2/8. And here's 2/3. Which one's less? Excuse me? Oh, okay. 2/8, not 2/3. 2/8 is less. I mean, look at it. Here's 2/3 right here, and here's 2/8. Oh, okay. Yep. 2/8 is less than 2/3.